presentation. I have maybe a bit of a crazy question, but you mentioned the brain at the end, and this, I believe, also a very fundamental question about what is time and space in physics. And I was wondering, the more we understand the brain, the more we know that it's about electrical discharges between, well, not only, but one of the connections of information is by electric discharges. And I was wondering if you ever thought that maybe one day we will be able to dope the brain in order to understand those kind of questions that we've been asking for thousands of years in humanity.
It's a good question. I'm sure we will be able to improve ourselves. And I think what you're asking was whether we could, if we understand more how the brain works and how we might be able to improve our brains, improve our memories. I am pretty convinced that we will do that in a variety of ways. Some of them will be just by taking advantage of what these silicon-based devices are good for and implanting them. I mean, I imagine that your children will be surprised that you didn't have your implanted internet connection. And I will be able to access Mathematica electronically. But I have no doubt that we will be able to do exactly what you had said, enhance our memory, perhaps our concentration. We do so already, of course, with various drugs. I mean, theoretical physicists live off coffee. Coffee, it really works. It does. It's one of the few drugs that I think still has no bad side effects and helps you concentrate. But we probably will get better at that. So it could, of course, all of these technological applications of knowledge that we're beginning to acquire, far from understanding enough to implement, have dangers as well, which you should all be aware of. There's no stopping the fact that we're going to learn how to do such things and employ that knowledge, therefore, hopefully for good purposes.
Do you think that with that we will be able to answer what time and space is?
I'm not sure we need all of these augmentations to understand what space and time is. I hope not. I think maybe you're asking, are we smart enough as it is without these modifications to understand the answer to such impossibly difficult questions? So that's a very interesting question, and I could give a 10-minute answer. But to be concise, I don't see any limitation to our ability to understand complex, deep questions in physics or in mathematics. At any point in time, it has been my experience, and also reading the history of science, that people often thought that the problems they faced, the deep conceptual problems, were truly impossible. But it always turns out that a new experimental discovery or observation or theoretical breakthrough happens, and it becomes all clear. I don't see any sign that we are reaching any limitation of our intelligence. I mean, the students today, like you all, are just as smart and just as able. My observation is just as smart, just as intelligent, just as creative, and just as able to enter doing creative science at an early age, as they were 40 years ago or 100 years ago. So that's a sign that we're not getting close to the limitations of our brains.
So unfortunately, we are running out of time. So we shall close this session and let us thank Professor Gross again.
Thank you very much, Dr. Hashimoto, and thank you for asking a question. Now we would like to take a break, and the next lecture begins at 11:40. You have only 10 minutes. Thank you.